I just left and I thought, I should have just stuck it out. Really should have, but I didn't realize how hard it was going to be.
Each event that came up, I just was delaying things because I was a bit skeptical about coming across. And then, yeah, the time difference was an issue. I mean, he was going to sleep, I was waking up.
And she was that side, and I was like, just, it's easy to give up. But I also thought about the first time I came in, I thought, no, I can't do this again. No, can't.
Thank you to Johan Scheepers and Tanya Miller for joining us this evening on the Immigrant Story podcast. It's a really interesting story that you have to share, and I appreciate that you've taken the time out to give us all the details of your journey. So just as a way of introduction, Johan, you contacted me in 2018. You had family in New Zealand and you then came to New Zealand. You're a single father and you have full custody of your daughter, and you arrived with your daughter. You stayed in New Zealand, I think it's just short of a year, and then went back to your home country. And you were there for a few years, and now you come back to New Zealand, which is great. Good to see you back. There is a small percentage of people that actually return to their home country after a certain period of time. I'd say probably less than 1% of our clients do that. But of those that do return to their home country, 80% of them come back to New Zealand. So it's really an interesting stat to see how many people do actually return. You're not the only one, but it is an interesting story for people that are maybe looking to return to their home country, things that they can think about before they do that, and just listen to the lessons that you've learned. So congratulations on being back and also becoming resident in the meantime. I do want to hear more about your story. So I'm going to ask you, Johan, firstly, to just give us a run through of your journey back in 2018, why you decided to come to New Zealand in the first place, and ultimately what made you decide to actually return to your home country.
Well, in 2018, I originally just came to visit my family. Went back, and I was intrigued by the idea of moving here. So I approached you guys about it. And then I got that process rolling. And then we came over with a job, of course. And yeah, it wasn't easy. It was not easy at all. Being away from family and all that. It was I would say, yeah, it was tough. It was tough.
You came over, you saw people, you perhaps discussed possible job offers, is that right?
Yeah.
With
So what
okay.
happened is I came over, I met some with visiting family, met some people, and just spoke about stuff, and then they offered me a job and said, if you want to work here, you can work here. And it kind of took off from there, basically.
Yes.
And that's when I approached you about getting the process on the road of getting here. So yeah, that happened. I had to go back home, of course. And then me and my daughter came over, followed the process, which we done, which was just a work visa. And that year was very tough. I won't lie. I probably called home every weekend, to the point where my dad was totally freaking sick of me. My mother didn't mind hearing me because I don't want to say it, but I was very close to my mother.
You can say it.
Yeah, my daughter's very close to my mother as well. So yes, it was hard. It
So
was
you're
really hard.
close to your parents who are still obviously in your home country. You had other family, yeah, but it didn't compensate for your parents
No,
and the fact
no,
that your
no.
daughter was
No,
missing her
it's
grandparents.
not the same.
So I remember back at that time we were actually working towards residence, and you called me and you said you want to go back to the home country, and I tried everything in my possible everything that I possibly could to persuade you to stay, but you were dead set on leaving, and that's fair enough. You then left. You went back to South
Yeah.
Africa. Did you stay close to your parents then, or did you stay with your parents?
I stayed with my parents basically.
Did you
So
easily
it's not
find a job again?
took me about 3 to 4 months to get a job, but I got a job eventually.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it worked out.
Yeah.
luckily. Yeah.
Did you feel settled? Did you feel you happy that you returned, or what was your feelings about New Zealand when you weren't here anymore after you had stayed here for almost a year?
Well, it was a mixed feelings. You know, uh, I just left and I thought, I should have just stuck it out. Really should have, but I didn't realize how hard it was going to be emotionally. It really, really, and I mean, it's not just a combination of being homesick, missing your family or your friends or whatever. It's also, do you have a job that complements that too? Because it was a combination of two things basically.
Yes,
It
yes.
made it easy for me to just want to go back home. So yeah.
Mm, mm,
Yeah, initially the first couple of years, well, what was that, 2018, 2019, it was pretty good, I reckon. And things just started getting worse in South Africa, with load
mm,
shedding. We didn't really know what was going on. There's a lot of uncertainty going forward. So you don't know what the future is for your kids.
mm,
And I thought to myself, did I deprive my daughter now of opportunities, which she has plenty of now, which she never would have had there.
mm,
So a lot of things went through my, but I did miss my mother a lot. And I know I'm saying this a lot, but I miss my mother. My mother's very close to me, and I'm very close to my mother. I'm close to my
mm.
dad too, but very close to my mother.
Yeah.
And my mother wasn't well at that time as well. So
Yeah, it's not
yeah,
around the corner, so it's not as if you can just go and visit for a weekend or time zone. So there was push and pull factors there as well. So the push was maybe you weren't too happy in your employment, and the pull
yeah,
factors were the family that was still
family
that side. Yeah,
was
but and then I suppose introspection kicked in once you were there about
yes,
your daughter and what opportunities she could have had if she were, if you remained here as well. So a person
yeah,
might feel a bit selfish in that instance that you, took her back to the home country where she may not have had those opportunities. Then you have those guilt feelings as well. Is that what you're experiencing?
yeah. In a sense, I was, because when
Mm,
we got back, I remember. When we got back, I was lucky to get her back into the school she was, but then the whole bloody COVID thing hit, and it
mm,
hit us hard that side. We don't know what's gonna happen with the schooling, because they were falling behind with the schooling, and you're gonna have to bloody do another year of this before you can progress to the next. So I took her out of that, put her into like a little homeschooling thing, which was okay, but it wasn't really school. But
mm.
it got her through that grade.
Yes, yes.
But
Okay.
she missed out on things that she should have experienced at school. I say school is not really all about education; is about the moments, the farewells, the all that stuff. So she missed out
Mm.
on that.
And then I know, I think you still contacted me during COVID. And I said to you, the borders are closed. There's no way that you're going to be able to enter the country right now. But once the borders are opened again, then we can look at options
Yes,
for
I
you.
did. Yes.
At that stage, it hadn't reopened for the actual skilled migrant as such. But you happened to get I think you got two job offers from New Zealand, if I remember correctly. You
Yes,
were
I got.
shortlisted for
I
both.
was approached by one guy. He was actually a recruiter.
Mm,
And he messaged me. He says, "Are you interested in coming to New Zealand?" I'm like, "No, well, let's do the interviews and see what it's all about." And then I had another one in Wellington. The one was in Gisborne, one is for Wellington. So I got the job in Wellington.
mm,
But deciding factor was the cold weather, and that put me a bit off.
mm.
So I went with the Gisborne job at the end of the day,
Yeah.
which I got,
Okay.
which was a bag of coal, I would say. Um,
Well, you're not there anymore, so I've got Mount Taranaki there in the background for
yes,
you to show, because you're now in New Plymouth. So you guys have
yes,
subsequently moved to New Plymouth. So talking about cold, that's probably one of the colder places on the on the North Island that you can live in. But obviously you must be enjoying it there. I mean, you hadn't been to New Plymouth before. The first time you came, you were in South Island. Then the
yeah.
second time you came, you ended up in Gisborne. And for those that don't know where Gisborne is, it's on the east coast. It's pretty remote from everything else. One way in, one way out. Now you're in New Plymouth, which is on the west side. So you guys are enjoying it in New Plymouth?
I'm enjoying it. It feels more like home,
Okay.
basically. And the weather's actually quite pleasant, yes, surprisingly. I mean, we've gone through winter. Yes, we had the odd cold days, but it didn't feel anything like Gisborne's winters. So I was like, wow.
Okay.
And we got this mountain that's full of snow, but we don't feel it yet. Guys in Stratford feel it, but we don't feel it
Yeah.
as much as they do.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's interesting because I think some people just feel more familiar with certain towns or cities in New Zealand, and I suppose it also depends on where you actually ultimately end up, then whether you're going to feel really comfortable where you are, where you ended up. So we've been talking about you the whole time, and you leaving, and then obviously Tanya, you weren't part of that first trip to New Zealand, the first stint of almost a year. But when Johan did contact me again, he said he's managed to rope somebody in that he'd like to bring along as well. So you guys met when? What year was that? Obviously before you came over in
Your turn now. Come
I
on.
can't remember now. He's a blank. 2021, yeah.
2021. So Johan was quite keen that you join him in New Zealand as well. The process to get you here was a bit different, and you didn't come over with Johan initially, with Johan and his daughter. When I say initially, I'm talking about the second time around. You didn't come with him. We managed to get resident visas for Johan and his daughter, but you didn't come with. There were obviously plans that you still needed to have fulfilled back in South Africa, and your plan was to come at a later stage. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
How did you find that when Johan was in New Zealand, you were back in South Africa? Were there times where you thought, oh, this relationship's not going to last? Or were there times where you thought Johan needs to come back to South Africa? Or were there times that you felt you needed to come to New Zealand sooner?
I lost my mom 4 years prior to this, and it was just my dad. So I was I would say, more family oriented. I want to be around my dad, my kids. I've got 2 kids. So I wanted to be there. My brother was getting married. My sister was pregnant. So I wanted to be there for all those happenings. And then I had Johan on the other side of the world. And then he is like, when you're coming over, so you had to kind of like split yourself up. Where do you draw the line? And each event that came up, I just was delaying things because I was a bit skeptical about coming across. And then yeah, the time difference was an issue. I mean, he was going to sleep, I was waking up. We tried to communicate as much as possible. He was busy, it was quite a story.
But as you say now, you realize that the happenings that were happening in your life back in your home country were sort of delaying your time to come to New Zealand, delaying the inevitable. But then you decided, because I remember at a stage, Johan, you actually contacted us again and you said you think you're going back for a second time because Tanya
a lot happened. Towards the end of that year, I lost my mother as well.
Sorry to hear that.
I couldn't go back. The finances wasn't there. And I wasn't really happy with what I was doing there. So and I got the job here in this place, in New Plymouth, and she was that side, and I was like, just go home, just
take it up again.
Yeah. But then you also spoke to me and gave me some words of encouragement. So I thank you for that. It wasn't easy. It's easy to give up. But I also thought about the first time I came in, I thought, no, I can't do this again. No, can't. So
yeah. And you were very, very close to being able to get residence. So I think that it's difficult to try and persuade somebody who is not in that mindset, but I think you'd already gone through it before and you had learned those lessons. So it was just a matter of remembering those lessons that you'd learned, because when you're in that space where you can't see the wood for the trees, it's difficult to see what we can see. And I know Winnie from our offices also spoke to you, probably like a mother speaks to her child, because she was really trying to encourage you, and she was really, really, committed to be able to get you to the point where you can get residence and where you can stay long term, because we can see the benefits, for yourself and for your daughter. And then obviously to be able to bring Tanya over eventually. So it's difficult and it's different seeing things from our perspective as to when you're actually living. And we do understand it's not easy. I mean, we've fortunately also been through the immigration process, and we've also missed family. We've also missed happenings. And I think every migrant that you speak to, that's the biggest thing, is the longing for the family, or the longing for the people that you know back in your home country, and the relationships that you had there. It's really difficult to build up those relationships again. And the known is always easier to turn back to as opposed to the unknown. And it feels like you're a bit in the unknown if you're in a country that you're not necessarily familiar with the culture, or work is not going as splendid as what you'd like it to go, whatever the case may be. It's easier, as you say, it's easier to turn back and just go back to the known.
Yeah, it is.
So Tanya, how are you finding New Zealand? You haven't been here too long, and you're already almost famous in New Zealand.
I'm looking for jobs at the moment. I do the volunteering, so I've interacting with people.
Good.
Even though I do the volunteering every Tuesday, those people that I work with there has become like my go-to people, my people that I can actually talk to, and they're guiding me.
Wonderful.
So yeah, I'm just excited to start working.
Yes,
Basically.
yes, very
Yeah.
good.
But other
And
than that, it's very nice. It's like your home away from home.
So Tanya, you talk about volunteering, and that's really important. I find too that if a person, even if you can't find a job, I think it's important to integrate into society where you are and into that community. And people that volunteer in general are good people. So it's good to mix with those type of people as well. It's good to mix with people that you can actually start getting exposure, and not just sitting at home or sitting,
Yeah.
not mixing with people for whatever reason. But you're also in a movie. You're also going to be starring in a movie.
Yes, with Johan. Yeah, what happened was an ad came on Facebook with an acting agency. I originally thought it was a scam, but then the lady phoned me back and said, no, it's not a scam. I signed up Johan's daughter, and then they said, no, they need, for any child under a certain age, they need a chaperone. So I had to volunteer as well. And then Johan told me, well, we did all the paperwork and everything, and about a few weeks later, Johan said, no, these people are actually here already. Have we heard anything? So I said, no. And then it just so happened that I got an email from them to say they're starting to rehearse. They need the extras available. Am I available? So I started asking questions. What about his daughter? No, they didn't need any youngsters at the stage, so it's all the adults first. So off I went down there. I had to be there at 6:30 in the morning. It ended at 7 o'clock the first day. Then it landed
The
me for
evening,
1 day.
so it's a full day.
It was a full day, and then our stuntman Bob went in on the Saturday, and he took part. He wanted to try his luck out there, and he enjoyed it. And he ended up doing 2 half days, and yeah.
Well, I can only do the days that don't work.
Yes. So you're the stuntman Bob, by the
him.
way. So you're stuntman Bob. I'm glad to
Oh,
see
no.
you still have all your moving parts.
Yeah.
And how did you find that experience? I mean, that's something that you never probably would have had exposure to back in South Africa.
That was nice, interacting with other people, getting to speak to people that have been on other sets as well. And you get to talk and find out everyone's how they got here. Also, a lot of migrants from other countries, and you interact and you talk and you share your story. So it was a full day of just sharing stories.
And also just seeing how it happens, the cameras, it's something new for me. I mean,
Yes.
so it's pretty cool.
What are the plans for the future then for the two of you? Are you definitely yet to stay in New Zealand? Are you waiting out your permanent residence, because then you have the freedom to travel around? Or what are you working on next?
Well, I'll take it day by day. Working towards permanent residency. Like I said, my mother had passed away, so it's just really my dad back home. So I don't know how that's going to play out, but there's no siblings back home. So, and my dad's, 68 now? So anyone come over this side, I'm trying to persuade him to come over for holiday. He'll go anywhere in Africa, but he won't go anywhere else in the world.
Stays on his continent.
Yes. So I don't know how that's gonna play out. My daughter, for sure, I wanted to stay here and pursue whatever options she has down the line. Because I mean, once she gets her citizenship, you know, she can go anywhere.
The
And
Kiwi passport, yes.
yes, and she can go to Australia and go do what she wants to do there. She can do anything basically.
Yes.
She won't really be as restricted as she would be at home. Definitely
Yes.
not.
Yeah, yeah. And how old is she now, Johan?
She's 16.
16, okay.
So she's got
Fantastic.
a boyfriend now, funny enough. And he's also South African. Can you believe it? It's Afrikaans speaking South African.
Far away to travel just to get a South African boyfriend.
But they've been here like what, 8 years?
Yeah.
They've been here 8 years already in New Plymouth, so they've been here long.
Okay.
She's happy. That's all. That's the main thing. She's
Yes.
at a difficult age, but yeah, she's happy. That's all.
Yeah.
That's important.
She's doing well, and she's
Yes.
she's got opportunities. And once she has, as I said, once she has that black passport, the Kiwi passport, then she's able to travel as and when she likes.
Yeah, for sure.
She's getting to that age now. And for both of you, like in New Plymouth now, you sound as if you're more settled. It sounds as if that is the place that you'd like to be.
It feels more like home. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
You know, I'm comfortable. I'm more relaxed. I'm nowhere near what I used to be. She's got no idea how bad I was at one stage. I feel more homely when I'm here now. She's here now too, so it just makes it easier. We do have arguments from time to time. We do a lot. I guess I'll still got a lot of growing up to do apparently, but
No, you're a glorified bachelor.
yeah, she says I'm a glorified bachelor.
That's good. I think it does make a difference that the two of you are together as well, that you can share your experiences with somebody that is your partner, as opposed to just trying to go it on your own. You can rely on one another. You can lean on one another. Maybe when the one is not feeling too strong, the other one will help. You know, lift that vibe.
Sure.
When the other one is not feeling too strong, then obviously the roles are reversed. So it does help if there's two. As far as I can see, it's made a big difference in your attitude, Johan, compared to the first time when you didn't want to continue and you wanted to go back.
I didn't want to hear anything. I just wanted one way.
Yes, just wanted to go back, and that's the thing, is you can't persuade somebody if that's where their mind is at, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, if you didn't go back, you wouldn't have met Tanya. So things happen for a reason as well. Fortunately, the option was, that you were able to come back to New Zealand because that's what you wanted to do ultimately, and it is fortunate for your daughter too. Yes. So I'd like some advice, because you've been through quite a bit. I'd like some advice that you possibly can give to other people, because you've returned back to your home country and then you decided to come back again. As I said, you're not the only client of ours that has done that, but maybe there's something that you can tell other people that are in the same situation or feeling the same way that you felt back in 2019 when you returned.
Well, I guess you got to be stubborn. Stubbornness goes a long way. Believe it or not, it's a bad thing, but it's a good thing. You might fuzzbait. It's not easy. I mean, I don't know if not everybody's situation will be the same. Not everybody will feel the same. It's difficult to give words of encouragement when it affects people differently. But I guess at the end of the day, you need to find your happy place. I guess that's the most important part. So you need to find your happy place. And also you need to interact with people. And I know a lot of South Africans that kind of just stick to themselves and just, they don't really venture out, and you need to just forget about that and just treat everybody like everybody is like you in South Africa, if you know what I mean. I don't know how to put that into words. So you need
Be open to relationships.
you need to talk to the local people, the foreigners. You need to. It just feels better at the end of the day. If you kind of stick to yourself and you're like stay in your little island, oh man, it bottles up inside. It doesn't come out very nice.
Yeah, yeah. So, Johan, before you arrived the second time, is there something that you did differently to mentally prepare yourself for this journey?
Well, it's just a question of I got to make this happen. Obviously, the first time that didn't work out for me. I knew what I had experienced. I also knew that the potential for feeling that way was gonna be again. Um, so yeah, I just go for it and deal with it as it comes. You know, a lot happened. Like I said, a lot happened that year. Then when I came back, got a reason to go back home again. Um, and I just yeah, and obviously you guys talking to me and saying, listen, you need to stick this out. I just thought, and also Tanya at one stage, on the phone, she encouraged me, says, you need to stay. You need to see this through. And she was back home. She was encouraging me from that side. So she was giving me the pushback from that side.
Good.
And yeah, even my family was giving me the pushback. Some of my family members. So it was yeah.
But it's because you said you felt like you left something behind, like unfinished business. So you
Yes,
had to
unfinished business. I need to do this because I
finish what you
started
started.
something.
Yeah.
Let me finish this. So
Yeah, yeah.
and I never finished. It was unfinished business because
Mm.
the way in which I left was just yeah, it was an emotional cocktail mess.
Mm, mm.
Yeah.
But also, I think it's very wise. What you mentioned now is you knew what had not worked out the previous time. So you knew where
Yeah.
things had faltered. You knew what the issues were that needed to be addressed. So when you came back again, you could immediately identify if things were going the same way and change those things as opposed to just leaving the country.
As much as even when you've done it, it's like and you've experienced it. There's no way to dodge it, but you can get stronger for it, but you're still going to go through it. It might be less effective, but you will still go through it. There's no getting away from it. But
Yes.
you need it's like you trained your brain to be a little bit more resistant to this. Put it that way. And it
And
just
I know you also do quite a bit of activity outdoors. I remember you did some bicycle riding, and now you've told me that you've already summited this Mount Taranaki. So you are actually using the opportunities that you have in New Zealand, and you're exploring the places. Is that right?
yeah, we've besides the things that I've done on my own, we've done some little road trips. Like on the weekends, I'll just say, let's get in the car and I'll go in the GPS and like, how do we get to this place? And then I'll say, okay, let's fill up the tank and let's just see what road we can get there. And it's normally these little back farm roads, which is beautiful because it takes you in the middle of nowhere.
Mm.
So we do that quite a lot. And then I rekindled my love for fishing, so I'm fishing a lot more.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Enough to cook it.
Yes. And yeah, it's I wouldn't say I've taken up the dad, or should I say the what's the dad bod life. I'm not as active as I was as before. Just I'm more enjoying the finer things in life. Let's put it that way.
Yeah,
It's yeah. So one thing we've noticed is and we noticed with the friends as well, is that we're picking up weight, and even they are picking up weight.
Don't say we.
yeah. And Whittakers do have good chocolates, so I don't blame you.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, they have lovely. The Kiwi chocolates are divine. Yes, but it's good that you can at least do some activities, and summer's on its way, so there's a lot more that you'll be able to do and get out in the sunshine, and a lot of things that are in your vicinity that you can do year round, all year round.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, we keep an eye out for all events and stuff like that. She keeps an eye out for events. I keep eyes for events. trying to get back into the things I used to do back home, but obviously I'm not with my mates, so I can't do those things anymore. So
Yeah.
it's difficult to get back into that. And obviously taking a step back to get back to that level again and then have that energy to do it, that's another story in itself.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
But you might not have the ability, but the options are there. And Tanya, so you're looking forward to working. That's what you want to do now, is work.
Absolutely. I am also, what I've done is I'm doing caregiving at the moment, over the weekends. Something I never thought I would do, but was quite skeptical in the beginning, but okay now. A 23-year-old, and it's nice. It's something different to what I'm used to.
Caregiving to a 23-year-old.
Yes, it's a girl. She has sclerosis. She's 23 years old. She's a twin. And you get to appreciate, I mean, things that we can do quite easily, she can't. And even though she's restricted, she still tries. So it's a huge respect for her. And she's a nice person, and I interact with another lady that also goes and does it as well. So it's all about getting to meet the different people and you hear their stories. And
You've widened your horizons quite a bit then. If you've been on movie sets and you are doing caregiving, all the stuff that you didn't think you would do.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thank you to both of you for sitting down and chatting to me and giving some advice. It's really, really helpful, I think, to other people. And as you said, Johan, you sometimes just really need to be stubborn in the sense that you just have to see things through. And then I always say, once you have permanent residency, then you can do what you like, because then you can actually travel around again. But if you're on a pathway, especially to residence, and you have that opportunity, things change so frequently, you don't know if you're going to have the chance again. Fortunately for you, there was that slim few months that they changed the rules and you just slid in there, which is really, really good. I'm really pleased for you that the opportunity was there for you and it was there at the right time. Thank you to both of you, and I wish you the very best in your future endeavors, and we'll look out for you on the movie.
Yeah. Thank you for having us, and yeah, thank you for everything you've done for us.
Yeah.
Much appreciated.